Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers Podcast. What is going on? That sounds loud. It feels loud. We'll adjust the levels here and we'll get everything going. What is going on, Clint Nation? Happy Monday to you. It is not a Modelo Monday. It is a Topo Chico Monday to everybody. It is a great day for Dodgers fans. Freddie Freeman is back. There's positive news coming from the organization. So on today's show, we got another edition of 3 Up, 3 Down. Haven't done that in a little while. So we'll talk about 3 things that I like, 3 things that we probably shouldn't like, and of course, we're getting that Freddie Freeman, the great Freddie news in there. Voicemails are back. It is Monday. That means it's time for Monday Overreactions and a butt ton, which is a unit of measure, a butt ton of injury updates, including that with Mookie Betts, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, among others. All that and more on another edition of All Dodgers Live. My name is Clint Pasillas. Find me as Real FRG on the social media platforms. It's right there on the X, on the Instagram. I'm a longtime baseball speaker man here on the YouTube. I've been covering the Dodgers for years as a sports editor, as a baseball writer, as a podcaster, and I do it here on my All Dodgers YouTube channel. That's right. It's all mine. I own it. Nobody can mess it up but me. So consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell to know when we go live. I definitely go live most of the time. Definitely go live every Monday, every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So we're always here. Set your calendars and jump into the comments, guys. I already see the comments going off. What is happening? Party people, it's just us today. I feel good. I've appreciated everybody coming and hanging out the last couple of weeks. Doug, Greg Bergman, Scotty Gearman, Tim Rogers, of course, Casey Porter, everybody that's been on the show the last couple of weeks. But I felt like we needed some us time, some alone time. Love the hashtag jumping in here, dropping in here. Isaac, Mr. Classic with the hashtag MaxStrong. If you guys didn't see it, it's also part of the thumbnail. The whole team brought in the MaxStrong t-shirts because of Freddie Freeman's son, Maximus, coming back from this. I always mess up how to say it. Jillian Barr or something like that. I'm terrible. I'm not a medical doctor, but the important thing is Max is better. Max is getting healthy. He's back home. He's with his family, and that is phenomenal. And with that, Freddie Freeman is back in the lineup. But let's talk a little bit more. Mr. Classic talking about Freeman, of course. I'd say after this, go check out Freddie's press conference, Spectrum Sports in LA. They uploaded the entire presser from Freddie, or at least a good chunk of the presser from Freddie. Very emotional. We know Freddie Freeman is generally emotional as it is, so he's extremely thankful, as you would imagine, from the outpouring of support from people, from the community, from the Dodgers, from the players, and again to come back to work and see everybody wearing those Freddie Strong shirts, or the Max Strong shirts with the Freeman 5 on the back. That has to be a good feeling, coming out of an otherwise awful time. Not a father. I cannot imagine, though, what the man has been going through, what him and Chelsea and the rest of the family have been going through. So we'll talk more about Freddie in just a second. Our buddy Showtime LA saying Clint Nation is not a Lux truther. Whoa, I am absolutely a Lux truther through and through. Day one here. Hold on, let me drink to hide the pain. I love my boy Gavin Lux. I'm happy he's killing it right now. Keep killing the game, Gavin Lux. You know what else is killing the game? Bet Online. It's the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, listeners of this show can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit. You can bet on anything from those Olympics to the baseball to the Formula One racing, and much more. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads while games are happening, while they're being played. So if the game's not happening, if the game you want to watch isn't happening, go to their online casino. They got blackjack. They got poker. You can unwind with over 150 slot games right there on the website. Head to that website today. Get in on the action. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet Online. The game starts here, and we're going to keep hanging out in the chat for a little bit. I appreciate right here. Let's find the right button. You know what? This is the right. That's the right button, because Alfonso in the chat, before I even started, said, coming at you live, and I appreciate that. That's totally the hashtag or the catchphrase or whatever it may be. Noah's in the chat. Can't hang out too much in the chat because he's working. We appreciate Noah. We appreciate Live Player being in here. Christopher, hanging out. BC in the chat. The first chatter in the chat today was BC. If you guys are watching on Twitter, X, by the way, jump onto YouTube. You can hop into the comments. It's free to comment on YouTube. And Mr. Classic is a great segue right there. Thank you to Cavan Biggio. So let's jump into it. 3 up, 3 down. And leading off, of course, number 1 up is Max Freeman. He is doing better. Things were grave. Things were awful. I am not prepared to tell you a whole lot about it, but we're talking about a little boy that had a breathing tube, that had a feeding tube, that was paralyzed, to now be at a point where he's back home, able to move. There's an expectation that he makes a full recovery from this situation. I should probably, again, look up how to pronounce what it's called, but even so, you guys know what it is at this point. Julian's Barry, I don't remember. I'm very bad at it, but Doom Sal is not bad at being a supporter here on the internet. Appreciate you, Doom Sal. Says joined the YouTube here as a YouTube member, signed up to be a part of the friend of the show tier here on YouTube, and I appreciate you, Doom Sal. But again, Freddie, very emotional when speaking with reporters earlier today, coming in again, seeing the shirts. That has to be so damn much. Has to be a very special feeling coming out of the worst feeling I could imagine. Again, I'm not a father. Worst feeling I can imagine you have as a father. Did get some insight from somebody with the team, our friend, a now friend of the show, over with Dodgers territory, Connor McGuiness, that is the assistant pitching coach for your Los Angeles Dodgers. He joined myself and Alana Rizzo today. I did ask him about the Freddie situation in the clubhouse and how people are kind of rallying around him, and how this could kind of help galvanize a clubhouse even more. So let's listen to Connor Mack about Freddie for a minute or so. We gotta bring it to the reality, life, humans being in that clubhouse all next to each other, and obviously as we're getting positive news now, but the horribleness that's kind of surrounded the Freeman family. How has the team kind of put Freddie on their back, and Chelsea and Maximus and all this through this trying time, and now to this point where Max is able to get back home, be with his family and all that? How much does that baseball, that clubhouse community, how much does that help somebody like Freddie, or even vice versa, bringing the team together more through this adversity?
Yeah, no, without question. My heart goes out to them, and it's such a relief and a joy to hear that he's doing better and the family's doing well. And so we're excited to get Freddie back, but it was a no-brainer. When this sort of thing happened, you have to go. You have to go be with your family. That takes top priority, and we consider Freddie family. And so this was a no-brainer for him to go be with them and be with his son to make sure everything was okay. And it's just great news that things are moving in the right direction. He's doing much better, but I just want to make sure that, for us, that he takes his time, and make sure that he's ready to go, and that his headspace and the family's headspace and everyone's good and healthy, and he can kind of then get back to work. But there's no rush on that. Life takes priority, family takes priority over this stuff, as important as all this is to a lot of people, but that takes priority. So for him to get through this and make sure that everyone's strong and healthy has been massive. So to get the news that we've received, we're just overjoyed to hear that things are in the right direction. And honestly, yeah, we can't wait to get the MVP back in the lineup. We got a couple MVPs we're waiting on to get back in there. So we're just very thankful that everything's looking well right now.
So I got some more with Connor Mack here on this show. If you guys want to watch our full interview, that is on the Dodgers Territory YouTube channel. Check it out. Subscribe. We just hit 2,000 subscribers there, and like I said at the end of today's show, trying to get to 1 million by tonight might be a little hard, but you guys could help out there. We will, again, hear more from Connor. I got some great comments in here from our friend Mike Doomsal, who again just signed up for the YouTube members here. Sal giving prayers out. Doomsal giving out prayers to the Freeman family, which of course, and I very much appreciate how transparent Chelsea has been through this whole thing, trying to raise awareness and trying to keep fans as, in the loop with the situation without giving away a whole lot of, details, because it's a very private moment for the family. It's a troubling moment, but it's very, very, it's a dire situation when Freddie effing Freeman is not in the lineup. There is something very much wrong, because Freddie does not like not being in the lineup. Also, Mr. Classic helping me out with some phonetic spelling, if we want to call it spelling, but Guillain-Barré is what we're going with. Guillain-Barré, that is the virus. Was it a virus that Max was dealing with? But again, thankfully, on the other side of it at this moment. Jenny Vega says, please like the stream. If not for us, the like is a little prayers up for our boy, Max Freeman. And if that's too far, you guys let me know. I'm not trying to that's not me capitalizing on the whole thing or something like that. I'm just happy that we get Max, back home healthy. The Dodgers, as fans, we get Freddie Freeman back in the lineup. And another very important part of it, guys, do I push the button? Do I there's a whole, I don't even know if it's mixed emotions, but Cavan Biggio's gone. Cavan Biggio for Freddie Freeman to return. Biggio gets the DFA. I saw somebody in the chat saying they were surprised that it was not James Outman being optioned. I think the problem is with the list the Dodgers had to put Freddie on. He was off the 40-man, so they needed to create a roster spot for Freddie to return, so that's why they had to DFA somebody. And that somebody was Cavan Biggio, who, with the addition of Ahmed Rosario, with Tommy Edman eventually coming back, but with somebody like Nick Ahmed still around, or all of these guys, the one clear guy who made no sense for this roster, Gavin Biggio. And Biggio, by the way, hit 192 in 30 games with the Dodgers. So thank you. When you get your rings, or when they get their rings, you'll get one. Let us know your size. But that's where we're at right now. I want to get some more comments here. Juice Narrows brings up an interesting point as well. Just saw the Freddie press conference, and again, I encourage you guys to check it out. It is a pretty, I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched the first few minutes before going on live here, and you could feel the emote. There was a lot of emote from Freddie. But Juice Nero saying that man is not okay yet. Give him a few more days to clear his mind. I would agree with that sentiment in just about any case, but with Freddie, I think that is kind of his way of clearing his mind. Getting back to work, getting out there, doing what he loves most, playing baseball. That's kind of his thing. Plus, he's here. He's close to his family. He does get to go home after the ball game. I would hope if he does feel like something, the yearning, bringing him back home, bringing him back to family, hopefully he pulls the plug and is like, hey, I'm going to take a few more days, guys. We know this team will give him time. We don't need to win. We don't need to see them win every game in August. They're going to be in a pretty good spot. We got $4.99 Super Chat from our friend Richard Flores. Thank you very much, as always, Richie. Appreciate you. Says Freddie's son returning home to recover as a reminder that baseball is just a game. Goddamn, can you say that again? Life is precious. So, people like me, I'll talk to you, me. If you see a player struggling, maybe there's other things going on. Maybe Gavin Lux has some things going on. Maybe somebody like Chris Taylor has some things, or Kiké Hernandez has some things going on. But it is a game. These are human beings. The same way we are all human beings. They just make a lot more money than we do, and they're a little bit bigger and a little bit beefier. I mentioned Lux. I mentioned Kiké. I guess I'll stay on the up train here if we're gonna get some. Keep going with 3 up, 3 down. We got to glaze, as the kids say these days. You got to glaze on Kiké a little bit. You got to glaze on Gavin Lux. Lux, we know. Lux has been locked in since before the All-Star break. Different level since the All-Star break. But Gavin Lux continuing to put in put in work. He is putting in work. In that third hole, he was filling in for Freddie Freeman for the last few days. But the fact that he hit a point, we're talking about Gavin Lux hitting a point where he's hitting third, and we're like, yeah, no, that fits. Something actually Connor McGuiness mentioned during our chat earlier today on Dodgers Territory. He had mentioned he loves the fact that Gavin Lux has kind of ascended to this number 3 spot in the lineup and performed. He straight up performed in that spot. Reach base 5 times in that Oakland series, couple ribbies thrown in there. Filled in phenomenally in the 3-hole. Can now move down. The lineup gets a lot longer with Freddie in there. More pieces coming back very soon. We'll talk about that in a little bit with Mookie, with Rojas. All of that's coming up later on in the show, so stay tuned, stay around. But Kiké Hernandez, he's somebody who's been on my chopping block. So this is almost like a half down, half up. But back-to-back multi-hit games for Kiké. 6 hits in the series. Don't look now. Do not look now, or do if you want, or just don't, because I'm telling you either way. He's hitting 300 with an 824 OPS since the All-Star break. Maybe Kiké Hernandez is finding something. Maybe, once again, the Dodgers prove to believe in them, believe in their signings, believe in the players that they're bringing around. These guys are professionals. They're going to figure it out. I'm not saying, extend Dave Roberts. I'm not saying fire Dave Roberts, any of that. I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying baseball, it's a long ass season, and when you have as much talent that the Dodgers have, where you can get away with giving somebody like Chris Taylor time to figure some things out, Gavin Lux time to figure things out, Kiké Hernandez, sometimes these players, these organizations, and us as fans get rewarded. So props to those dudes for becoming not black holes in the lineup. Just to throw that out there. We're going to talk one last, if we're doing it all in order, one last up that I like, and this one will be a little bit quicker, but we got to talk about Jack F. Flaherty. Yes, everybody's middle initial is F right now. Flaherty, admittedly, I didn't watch the game intently. I was getting drunk with friends in my backyard and in my pool, but I saw a lot of the game. I saw the highlights. I like the intensity. I like the Jack Flaherty. Anytime you can go out and get the best available pitcher, you're going to feel good. Your team is going to feel good, and he put together a stopper performance against, I understand, the Oakland Athletics. Not a very good ball club, but they had been playing good. The month of July, they were a very good team, or at least they were very lucky, however you want to kind of throw it out there, piece it together. Flaherty steps in, steps up. As I said earlier on Dodger territory, he was a man. He was kind of like the man that this team needed in that moment. So I did ask Connor McGuiness some thoughts on Flaherty, kind of getting this guy in there, getting an adult in the rotation, and hoping that he can kind of settle some things around, settle the bullpen that had been struggling. One starter can go a long way in resetting some things. So here's Connor talking a little bit about Flaherty's addition and kind of just what it did for the team. So we're just talking about Jack Flaherty before we welcome you here onto the show. Talk about what he's kind of added to the mix for this pitching staff, and kind of, I would imagine everybody's mental just feels that much better when you're going out and getting the best guy available at the trade deadline. It's got to feel good in that clubhouse.
Oh, without question. And kudos to our scouting group and Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes for going out and being able to pull off and execute that trade for us. And Jack couldn't have come in at a better time, to go deep into that game, kind of reset the bullpen. It honestly set us up to win that last game of the series because we were able to line up our lanes with the bullpen being a little fresher than it was. So for him to come in, I know it was a huge relief to him to be able to go and show that he was able to do that for us and get deep into the game. I mean, we're just ecstatic and happy to have him. I was really impressed. I mean, it's the first time Will Smith's caught him or even met him or introduced him, and he navigated him beautifully. And Jack made some awesome adjustments there after the second inning. And so they fell into a rhythm. It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited for the future with this guy.
Connor, what impresses you the most? The swing and the miss from Flaherty, or the fact that he can go deep into the game?
Honestly, all of that impresses me, but just the mound presence alone, reading the game situations, bases open. You'll see the fastball velocity kind of fluctuate, and he'll kind of tap into that extra velo when he needs it. And then just the execution of his slider. I mean, his slider is such a deadly weapon, and I thought he and Will did a great job of kind of using his curveball early to give him more of that front to back look. But when he's got that slider on and he can kind of, add that power to the heater when he needs it, it's a pretty tough at bat for opposing hitters.
And a tough at bat that we add to the Dodgers rotation. Again, we're at a point right now where we're being additive to this team, whether it's on the injury front, getting some guys back, whether it's through trade acquisitions. It's nice to have finally reached this point with this team where they're healthy or getting healthier, or we're getting that much closer. People pets' heads are getting put back on at the right time if I'm going to keep doing the thing that I always like to do. Some love, we'll say, love in the chat for Will Smith. We are going to talk Will Smith in a second here. We're getting to the down portion of 3 up, 3 down. But I like Jack Flaherty. I like the way this rotation is shaping up. The big thing, the biggest factor to me when talking about the starting rotation is going to remain Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We got updates on him. Again, we will get back to that, or we will get to Yamamoto in maybe about 20-25 minutes, something like that. So stay tuned, hang out, hit that button. That's the whatever. Hit the like, thumbs up. That's what we're going for. Down. Well, as I say down, and I talk about the starting rotation kind of coming together, one guy that is a clear concern suddenly is our friend Stoner, Gavin Stone. Not looking too hot since the start of July. An ERA somewhere in the neighborhood of 6. I didn't get the update after, excuse me, I got the burps there. Topo Chico helping me out here. But we're looking at somebody who has an ERA around 6. Again, I didn't update it after his start in his loss in Oakland. But somebody that was very important to this team in the first half. As pieces start to get back, get healthy, the addition of Jack Flaherty, maybe the kind of role, maybe the importance of Gavin Stone has changed. Of course, at this point, you're talking about a kid in his first full season as a big leaguer, falling off the table. You wonder. The question is you have to throw out there: is it fatigue? Is there, is he starting to get a little bit tired? He has thrown 111 innings so far this season, but he said no. Dave Roberts also questioned the fatigue in there. He said that Gavin Stone says he feels fine. Of course, Gavin Stone is going to say that he feels fine. Stoner says that he's kind of just, the execution is not there, attributing it to poor execution. I would argue that's something that comes with fatigue. So as we are going to talk in a little bit about the roster crunch that's coming, you do wonder if there is going to be a point in time where Gavin Stone takes a little bit of a seat. It might not be a bad idea. Just get a blow, as Dave and the Dodgers like to say. Give him a rest. Give him maybe a start or two off, and get him mentally reset for the stretch run here in through up to and including October, if he's a part of the mix. Of course, team has a lot of bodies around. They have a lot of moving parts and pieces up to and including Walker Buehler, who is apparently about to re-enter the fray for this team. So we'll talk Buehler as well in a little bit. I do have a bone to pick with Dave Roberts. You guys know me. I don't often throw Dave Roberts under the bus, and I don't know that this is necessarily under the bus, but the second down of our 3 up, 3 down section is Dave Roberts about on Ahmed Rosario. He was kind of pressed by reporters on Saturday's game. How come, when's Rosario going to get in there? And Doc was like, we didn't pick him up to be a starter, to be in there every day, to play versus righties. His job is to do this. And he was like, and I admit, I haven't really looked into much of the numbers. This is me very much paraphrasing. The next day, so Dave says his job is to be here, play when we want him to, and be a lefty killer. That's what he was acquired to do. The next day, suddenly, Rosario's in the lineup against a tough righty there Sunday, last night, in Oakland. And Dave kind of changed his tune, talking about, he's been pretty good this year. I think he actually, did. Thank you. Pinsanity said, I guess he looked at the numbers. Dave Roberts did his homework and looked at the numbers for Rosario. And I can understand where Dave's coming from in that situation, because apparently I can't just completely shit on Dave. Dave has got a ball club to run, and he already had this guy last year where his role last year was to just play against lefties, so I could see that. But Knott's Hunt Talent, great name. Hopefully we see at the Haunted Mansion things or whatever they do there. I forgot, I haven't been there in a hot minute. But anyway, he says Knott's Hunt Talent is because he got called out. Yeah, he had to do his homework, and he realized, I was kind of, beating my chest about this when I was in the wrong. So kudos to Doc, at least, for putting in the little bit of the work there. But Rosario getting in there, getting the lineup a little bit more. I didn't see, I forgot if he's in the lineup right now. If he's in there, he is not in the lineup today because, of course not. But Rosario, I think he needs to be in there a little bit more. I would like to see him getting some opportunities at third base. I don't really think he's a shortstop. He's played a lot of shortstop. Rosario, or BC says Rosario needs to start. Maybe finding a good rotation, a good plan. I would start him over somebody like Nick Ahmed, just because we know Nick Ahmed is not going to be around for a long time. Maybe 2 weeks at most, maybe a couple of days at most. Will Ahmed still be around with Miguel Rojas on his way back? But Rosario is going to be around. Kiké's been playing a pretty solid third base, and I just literally said I don't want to see Rosario at shortstop. That's the word, but still. Mix something in, find him somewhere, get him some more opportunities. Third base makes a lot of sense, even though there are positive updates on Max Muncy. BC says, God forbid, we have somebody who could hit at the bottom of the lineup. And he has no splits. No splits this year. He's hitting about 300, both sides of the ball, both sides of lefties, righties. He's hitting. He's been very good. He's been a very good ball player so far this year. So hopefully he keeps getting into some games. But you guys in the chat talking about Mr. Irrelevant on the Dodgers right now, we got to talk about Will Smith. Big Willie style, M.I.A. He's hitting 200, I think, over the last 2 months or something like that. The eye test tells you the bat speed is slow. He's not picking good pitches to attack. He's watching pitches that are hittable kind of just go by him. I don't know what you do about Will Smith at this point, and I wonder... I'm sure there's plenty of other catchers. There are plenty of other catchers, in the history of the game who have had the fatigue and the wear of a long season wear down on them. I will always point to Paul LaDuca in my case, where Dookie was one of those guys. Russell Martin, another one of those guys as well. I mean, LaDuca maybe a little bit less, because of the whole steroids thing. Instead, we'll make it a little more recent. Let's talk about Russ Martin. Russell Martin, his first couple of years, kind of had that situation. Really good, on fire in the first half. All-star caliber seasons. Then he tapered off. Then he got tired. Then he said, no, I'm not tired. You're tired. When I did I was about to start getting into a whole social distortion. What am I looking for? Suicidal tendencies. Anyways, I digress. So I don't know what you do about Will right now. I know what you consider doing with him in 2025, and that's having another catcher that's as good as him or better. Hey, maybe this Dalton Rushing kid who we're seeing a lot more about in recent days, getting the call up to AAA, adding left field to the mix. By the way, another catcher who I mentioned already, Paul LaDuca, used to play a lot of catch, used to play some left field for this Dodgers organization as well back in the early 2000s. If you get somebody like Rushing, adding to that defensive versatility, the positional versatility, and somebody with a bat who can catch and spell Will Smith a little bit more, maybe it goes a long way. Last year, I questioned big time Will talking about that rib and, the rib was fractured, and then it kind of started barking at him. But like I say, bullshit to that, because you hit over 300 for a stretch after that hit by pitch. So I'll at least call just a hair of bullshit on that. Maybe horse manure on that. But Will's a problem. Will's down right now. As more people keep coming back, I hope Will moves down in the lineup. He's not playing well enough to be hitting in that 2-hole for damn sure. He's not playing well enough to be hitting cleanup for this team when all is said and done and people are back and healthy. So if we're getting Mookie Betts back, you got to maybe look at Ohtani. You got to look at it being Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Teoscar. Teoscar is a cleanup hitter. Teoscar's a man. I'm 40. Did that one earlier on the show on Dodgers territory. But anyways, that's where I'm at. I'm worried about Will Smith. I hope the Dodgers are as well. Pinsanity with the numbers. Thank you very much, Pinsanity. I'll give Pinsanity the clap. Will Smith, 107 in his last 7 games. And again, like 200 over the last, I think, 30 games, if not a little bit longer. It is a little tough to watch at this point. point. But that's where we're at. That's your 3 up, 3 down for today. We got some voicemails coming up right now. In just a little bit, we are going to be talking about all the health and injury updates, so hopefully you guys stay tuned. Josh Gitt wondering if Will Smith is hurt. I don't know where he would have been hurt. I mean, he's taken a lot of foul balls, definitely, but, you know, at some point, somebody needs to say something. You know, if you can go months with Max Muncy hurting, and then they're like, hey, have we tried a chiropractor? Let me tell you something. I'm a fucking big leaguer, and I can get free back cracks anytime. I'm going and getting those goddamn back cracks whenever I can. So why was this an option that came 3 months later? So if Will Smith is injured, if Gavin Stone is tired, some of these people got to speak up. Maybe some of these the coaches need to be like, are you sure? You sure about that? You sure about that? A little help. Anyways, getting off the rails. Getting that. Josh Gitt, you got me excited. You got me all amped up on that one. Jenny Vegas says, support Clint if you enjoy the content. That's a damn good idea. I'd appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button. Of course, that's something that's completely free. Hitting the thumbs up button really helps out the show in the algorithms here on YouTube. Sharing it as well. I know sharing is kind of more of an old school thing here on the YouTube, but anything you can do to help out the show, I'd love the hell out of you for it, including watching it here every Monday, every Thursday, and whenever else I put out other content. If you're looking to support Beyond, if you have a few extra bucks laying around, we do have Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg. I appreciate the people here in our chat that do like to help promote the Patreon. We have a Discord server where we also all talk, and that comes with the Patreon. It's $5 a month. You support independent Dodgers coverage, independent baseball coverage here. You directly support me, which I very much appreciate. It makes the show better. It's all things that help make the show better, make the content better, make the content more consistent. Because, you know, it's not like it was back in the old day where I just do this. I got to go work. I got to go do a real job. Anything that helps put me in my butt in the chair more hopefully helps us get better, cleaner content. So if you guys are interested, again, patreon.com/realfrg. You can also click here on YouTube, the join button. I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying, if you're looking for a way, if it's within your means, check it out. If not, you know, I appreciate you watching either way. A cool thing we do have coming up, all thanks to our Patreon supporters, because we all got together, we were all hanging out, talking on the Discord, and we're like, hey, we need to do a game. So we got a meetup. We got a Dodgers game meetup this Sunday. Dodger Stadium is the place to be. Matt Kemp bobblehead night. So we'll be at right next to our friend Richie Flores in Devore. We're going to be right next to his section, or in his section, Pavilion 303, up at the top by the drink rails. Come out, come say hi, come take some pictures of the game. Don't take pictures of us. It's weird. You guys already know what I look like here. But, yeah, come hang out. Let's have some beers about it, talk about the game, talk about the Dodgers. That is this Sunday, August 11th, at Dodger Stadium, 1 p.m. game. Hopefully you guys want to come out, meet up. Maybe we'll try to figure out a way to do like a group photo or something like that. I think that would be fun. But some of your favorite characters will be there as well. People like Diane coming in from the great desert. Noah will be there. Goat Yachty will be there. Other folks will be at the game. All of us, again, just hanging out, Richie. Hanging out, watching a ball game together as baseball friends. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of the names, our friend Josh Gitt will be there. I remember I met Josh Gitt at a game a couple years ago. Josh, come by. Let's have a beer, catch up. Victor does not live close enough, but don't worry, buddy. We'll send some pictures on Discord and all that kind of stuff. But some of these names I just said, they've called into the show, which means, you know what that's time for? It's time for Monday Overreactions, guys. It's about that time. Haven't done it in a couple of days because it was trade deadline. It was a very busy time, but here's where we're at. We got our gang back here, and we're gonna hear first from our friend Noah, who's gonna lead us off with something positive. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't listened. I probably should listen to these beforehand, but let's listen to Noah and see what he has to say.
It's Noah, guys, as you know. And I gotta say, I'm super excited with everybody coming back. There's actually hope and light at the end of the tunnel. However, though, it reminded me, well, what are we gonna do with Mookie? Because guess what? We got Gavin Lux who's performing, and I'm a believer now, by the way. I never thought I would say that, but we have Gavin Lux at second base, and he's stuck there. Gavin Lux is like the girlfriend that you have that just can't drive. So what you do is you make adjustments and you screw everyone over just to stay with her. That's Gavin Lux. The entire organization is going to make adjustments so that he stays there. And unfortunately, the victim or the best friend that takes the damage for you is Mookie. I personally think he needs to go back to right field, do some badass dives, play great defense, Gold Glove caliber. And on top of that, guys, I personally think that we can get to 100 wins if everybody comes back healthy. But now with the roster crunch, oopsie doopsie, looks like there's going to be a lot harder decisions to make. Thankfully, though, Yarves got DFA'd. And, guys, I'm not excited for Ryan Brazier because I'm not sure if you guys remember, but he exactly wasn't as dominant or elite like he used to when he came back. Almost all the runners he inherited, he gave up at least one run to. So I'm not hyped for Ryan Brazier, but I am hyped for the rest of the season, guys. Let's go Dodgers!
Our friend Noah Ortega talking about where is Mookie going to play. We got some Mookie stuff. Mookie kind of addressed that earlier today, so we're going to talk about that. We also just got breaking news right now. I'll go to this instead, and then we got a couple more voicemails. But breaking news, Blake Treinen, unsurprisingly, honestly, Blake Treinen to the IL. They're saying it's a hip thing. He's got hip discomfort. Sounds a whole lot like Walker Buehler's hip thing, where they're just like, yeah, it's hip to be square, you can go on the IL. But that means Bruce Dark Graterol is back. The bazooka is back. So drop your thoughts in there. Are you happy to see, as Monster laughs at the oopsie doopsie there. Bruce Dark Graterol is the first guy to return, has not pitched at all this season as he's dealt with some shoulder discomfort, but he is back. Sound off in the comments. Are you excited to see Bazooka back? Are you worried at all about Blake Treinen? We'll talk about that in a second. Monster talking about the velocity being down. I don't know if you're talking about with Treinen. I think Treinen just got a little too hittable of recent vintage. Nando 390 in the chat talking about seeing Graterol followed by Michael Kopech. Hey, I saw a comment earlier on Dodgers territory. I couldn't get to it in time because that show is we're just always kind of like moving forward. There's not enough like room to breathe sometimes and explore the comments and whatever. But I go on about that. But somebody was talking about me giving some flowers to Michael Kopech. With Kopech, we've seen two outings so far, very much like what we're seeing out of the dude, but still, I want a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit longer out of a dude, or see him for a little bit more, a little bit longer, more outings. You guys know what I'm getting at. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by like three things on the screen here. Give me more time to build my case for and against him before I really get out there. But so far, I love what we're seeing. So far, he's delivered exactly what you want. Power arm at the back end of the bullpen. Looks like you could put him just about anywhere. Monster giving some love for Kopi. We're going with Kopi. You guys like? If you like that our nickname, drop it in the comment. Hit a thumbs up or something like that. PC talking about Ryan Brazier's not going to help. Talk about Brazier in just a little bit. Caveman 68 says just do not touch Anthony Banda. That one I very much get behind. I am a Banda truther. He has been so damn good for this team, and he's on this team. I don't know if we say we take him over Alex Vesia for the rest of the season, but the Dodgers have some insanely difficult conversations and decisions to make coming up very soon. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's listen to more voicemails. We do have more voicemails. We also have a super chat. Let's go. Sammy Boy Smith, $10 super chat. Thank you very damn much, Sammy Boy Smith. He says, Clint Nation for life. I agree with that one. Rebecca in the chat, what is going on? Mrs. Dinger is asking about the Clint Nation meetup info. We are meeting up at Dodger Stadium during the Matt Kemp game this Sunday, Section 303 Pavilion. Come hang out. Shoot me a DM. If you can't find us, we'll be up there. We'll be drinking. The bases may be loaded, and so will we be. So come hang out. Bring baby dingers, and we'll say hi and make some more internet friends here and all that. But hey, good stuff. We got Bruce back. That was something that looked like was going to possibly happen today. The Dodgers were just trying to figure out who was going to totally be injured suddenly. So it's Blake Treinen. We appreciate that. Next up, in Monday Overreactions, we got to go back to the voicemails. And by the way, if you guys want to call in, I opened the voicemail hotline to everybody. So going forward, I'll have to put out a call because I might not always, I'm not going to do a show on Tuesday if one person calls in or whatever, but I want to try to get more people in on this. Hopefully people enjoy it and we could be like radio, but on TV. But let's listen to who we got. Let's listen to Hamilton. This is what Hammy 0023 has to say about your Los Angeles Dodgers right now.
Hammy 0023, Long Beach, your Dodgers ray of sunshine here with all the hope and happiness, just like we thought, right? They completely swept the A's. Oh, no, they did not, the lowly A's. Oh, and then also Kershaw came back, so that's good. No, it's not. Oh, no, but we got Glasnow back. No, still not good enough. This is the same thing the Dodgers do all the time. It's when they get good pitching, they waste it. I think what we need to do is just scrap the starters, put them in the bullpen, take the bad guys from the bullpen, make them starters, make the guys actually want to play out there. Everybody getting hurt and everybody competing for a position is actually making them go and hit. So maybe that's what it is. I mean, I'd love to see Freddie back, but at the same time, I don't want him back. I don't want Mookie back. I want to see these guys scrap it out and figure it out and then maybe get the guys back, and then we'll be clicking as a team.
Hammy 0023. Are you okay? Is everything okay at home? You let me know in the comments below. Talk that guy down off a ledge right now. I understand what you're saying. Some of these guys are playing a little bit better while getting more opportunity and also realizing like, oh, man, my job security is right there in the form of Freddie coming back, who we know is coming back, Mookie coming back, who's maybe a couple weeks away. We're going to talk about that in a second. But, I don't know if it's that bad. I don't know how many, pitchforks and torches you have loaded up on, but hot take. I like that. Jenny Vega saying hot take from Hammy 0023, but I appreciate him calling in. That's a real radio call in right there for sure. So you might hear him on Vasse after this show. We got one more voicemail loaded up, and it is our friend Richie from Devore. So Richard left this earlier this morning, and I'm intrigued to see where we're going. Let's find out.
Well, Clint, happy Monday to you, and another successful road trip has come and gone. So the OKC Dodgers go into San Diego, and little brother takes 2 straight. What's the big headline news on the following morning saying that the Padres had clinched the season series against the Dodgers? Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and the assassination of JFK. Newspaper headlines can't believe how much attention that got. And then with Manning and Profar taking advantage of a worn-out bullpen that shit all over itself, backflipping and screaming at the top of their lungs, let's effing go to their dugout. While back in my day, if any opposing hitter did that on the very next pitch, the trainer would have to come on out with a crowbar to pry that 100-mile-an-hour fastball that got buried in between both of the numbers in the rear of their jersey. And then we go to Oakland. The great news about Oakland is that there is hope. Saw a lot of great things. Saw Flaherty just go out there and shove, which was huge. The back of our end of our bullpen looks so much better and pitch with more conviction. Lux is on fire. Even Cavan, Biggio, of all people, is swinging the bat a little bit. Lay down a great sack bunch to move Hayward over to third base, but only for the rest of the bottom of the lineup to basically shit all over itself and couldn't hit a sack fly ball to give him in to save his life. But there are reinforcements on the way, and there's good news on the horizon. And with all of the new acquisitions and nobody running away with the National League West, hey, we're going to be in good shape. And I want the Dodgers to fight for that playoff spot. I want them to fight for that division instead of in cruise control like it was this time of year. And finally, just a nice little public service announcement. As all of you may know, we're all getting together on Sunday, August the 11th against the Mighty Pirates, which is also Camp Bobblehead Day, by the way. And that's a Sunday. We're all going to be there. We're sitting in section 303, left field, Pavilion. Most of the group is sitting in row U, row W. It's right above the standing room only section, where there's plenty of places to stand in the shade and enjoy the game, and we can all finally meet each other in person as opposed to seeing our thoughts in the chat. Well, that's all I got. Happy Monday for everybody, and remember, F the Dodger Stadium parking lot, F Manny Machado, F the Padres, F anybody who gets in our way, F any injuries that may try to rear its ugly head again, and for the love of God, F the Ghost Runner. See ya.
Richie, he's a character. You can see that character, like he said. I didn't know he was going to drop the announcement on there as well. Come hang out with us. I don't know if I said left field pavilion, but yeah, we're going to be in the left field pavilion, so bring your knife. Hang out with the boys. Hang out with the girls. We're all going to be there. We got a diverse group of people that love this Dodgers team, love bashing on them, and really hope they can go all the way this year. Hit that subscribe button if you love your Dodgers, because why not? We're talking about him here all season long. But appreciate our callers here on the All Dodgers voicemail hotline, the friend of the show hotline. Again, I'm opening it up to everybody. Check that out. The information is usually posted on the community page when I'm putting a call out or a feeler out for calls. But let's get into me losing my pen, and let's get into the next part of the good stuff on today's show, and that is injury news and updates, positive shit about this team. That's what we're here for. And the biggest to me, we already talked about getting Freddie Freeman back. That's huge. It wasn't an injury for him. Getting him back in the lineup and then dropping Cavan Biggio, that's just an all positive. That's just all positive there. You got Freddie, and you dropped this guy. But of all of the updates that have gone out there, I want to focus in first on, I kind of assign these levels of importance. And for as important as Mookie is, I think the most important name we're about to talk about is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto did get off a mound Friday. All reports came back saying good, very good bullpen session. Expected to throw again tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. So that's massive. The hope is they're hoping for some point in September, so they're still going to be slow playing it. We're still looking at a longer ramp up, which is fair because it is a shoulder. But he's somebody, in my opinion, is the most important to this team's playoff hopes. Like if they're getting far in the postseason, it's because of him. It's not just because of him, but he is a massive factor. This is a number one. He should be the number one, and I don't know if they'll start him in game one just because of the time missed and the injury and all that, but the reality is this guy was signed to be your number one, your ace. With all due respect to Tyler Glasnow, it's okay to have an ace 1A and 1B. We've seen it with Kershaw and Greinke in the past, and I would say that, well, some people might not agree with me saying that Yamamoto is our Kershaw because of all the postseason and the issues and the whatnot. But still, Yamamoto's my guy. That is a guy that is built, that is made to kill it in the postseason. So asked our friend Connor McGuiness earlier today on Dodgers territory, give me some updates, give me some news, more news on Yamamoto. So here's the latest from Connor Mac on Yama, and I will apologize for the grainy video. I grabbed the wrong one, I plugged it in, and then I had to start. So it's 360p for you, but enjoy. Hey, if we're talking positive injury updates, we can't not talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Big news on the Yamamoto front. Hey, he's throwing a baseball. That's awesome. Talk about the latest there and kind of, I'd say, not tempering expectations, but not getting too far ahead with Yamamoto. So give us a Yama update and where you kind of hope he slots in.
Yeah, he's been doing fantastic. Like I've mentioned, our medical staff has been doing a fantastic job with him. Thomas Albert, Brandon McDaniel, John Erb have been keeping close eyes on him. You watch this guy throw right now, he's looking fantastic, and he's going about it the right way. It's been fun to kind of just get to know him throughout the course of the year, and it really felt like he had found himself in that Yankees game. Really kind of everything came to fruition, but he's in a great spot. The throws have been looking great. He's got his coach with him, Yata, his personal kind of guru throwing guy. So it's been super fun to learn from him and kind of see his process of how he goes about things. So we're just excited to have the fact that he's out there throwing, had a good bullpen the other day. As far as timeline goes, I'm not exactly sure, but fingers crossed if he continues on this kind of line of progression, hopefully we can see him back out there on the mound for us.
So Connor Mac, appreciate him. He's always going to he knows a lot more than he's going to let on. But all good stuff there. Again, the fact that Yamamoto's working with his guy, his coaches, along with the Dodgers coaching staff, the training staff, they are putting they signed him for a lot of money. Of course, they're putting maximum amount of man hours on making sure that shoulder's good, that he is ready to go for October. Because, again, I'm going to say it again, this guy, the biggest piece, the most important piece when it comes to the postseason for this Dodgers team in 2024 is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. $5 super chat from our boy Sammy Boy Smith. Thank you again, Sammy. Appreciate the hell out of you. This is Yama Hello Moto. I like that. Yama Hello Moto. You guys remember that? Remember back in the day, that thing? The Motorola, the phone? Doom Sal talking about Yamamoto back in the old Blue Heaven DN chat. Didn't know who he was. Hey, back then, it's a different world. It was a different world. We had to look at right then and there and not look too much down the road. Now I'm all about looking down the road. I'm already looking at penciling in Roki Sasaki in this Dodgers rotation in 2025 next to Yama, next to Shohei Ohtani. That's going to be fun. But he is he's a pretty special talent, this Yamamoto dude. And like Connor also mentioned, kind of it looked like he really found it in that Yankee start, and that's the thing that makes me excited for him in the postseason. So there is your Yamamoto update. I'm saying that's the biggest update. The most important update is Mookie Betts. Mookie spoke with reporters today. Of course, he's already been swinging a bat. He's feeling good as he's coming back from that broken hand. Over the weekend, they said it could be as soon as 2 weeks. So the question I asked to you guys is 2 weeks from now too soon for that broken hand? He did speak with reporters again today. He says he feels no pain. He's feeling the hand is feeling good. It's feeling strong. So, I mean, you got to take these players at their word sometimes. But if the team is playing a little bit better, I'm okay giving him a little bit longer if needed. BC asking, no rehab stretch. Like, I don't think they would send Mookie on a rehab. I just really don't. There's not really much of a reason for him to go to AAA or whatever. He can get work, facing Dodgers live at Dodger Stadium in a live game, simulated game, which is something they said they're setting up for Thursday, where every injured player is supposed to pick up some at-bats at Dodger Stadium in a sim game Thursday early. They're bringing in a single-A pitcher from Rancho to throw, I think, to everybody. They said it was Mookie, CT3, Miguel Rojas, and two more bodies. Oh, Max Muncy also taking some swings there. Another guy. If we're talking about Mookie being important, one rung down is Max Muncy, and we know why. But if Kiké Hernandez keeps playing well, if Mookie is doing well, and maybe for some reason they plug him back in at shortstop, I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You could put Miguel Rojas at third base. You have some options there. Tommy Edman is somebody who could be at third base. Thank you very much, MWG, for throwing that in there as well. But that's where we're at. Mookie's feeling good. He was also asked about the position situation. We've gotten a lot of crap on Dodgers territory over the last couple of days, last week, talking about Mookie and the possibility of moving him around. I still staunchly stand behind the fact that I believe the best version of this team is Mookie Betts being open to playing wherever he is needed that day to optimize the defense. We know where he's going to be at in the lineup. He's hitting 2, he's hitting 1, whatever it is. I still think you'd leave Shohei in that leadoff spot, but maybe you give Mookie back the leadoff spot if he's also moving around position, just so he's not, not feeling too much change all at one time. But If left field is a spot where it makes sense for him, cool. If it's center field, somebody asked in the chat just a couple minutes ago about Kevin Kiermaier. What's the plan? I really don't know. I think Kevin Kiermaier is here for a good time, not a long time. Sure, he is an exceptionally gifted defender in center field, but if you can't hit, I don't know that we can house you. I don't know if there's a whole lot of a roster spot on there, especially with some more roster crunch. And we know this team's going to go with somebody like a Chris Taylor before they go with the Kevin Kiermaier. They're going to go with the Kiké Hernandez before they go with the Kevin Kiermaier. So if Kiermaier's around for now, that's cool. And if he's somebody who comes back when Edmund comes back, when, however that kind of breaks down, then thanks for your service while you were around Kevin Kiermaier. Or maybe they try to find a way to stash him and have him around and he's on taxi in the postseason. But again, Mookie, on the idea of moving positions, he says he's open to it. He's open to doing whatever the club needs. He's saying the right things right now. Quote is, there's a lot of guys that can play shortstop here. If it's not in the cards, then that's cool. I can go from there to anywhere else. So whether that is right field, whether it's center field, at this point, I also saw somebody ask in the Lux, like, or in the chat, if we're buying the Lux. I'm buying Lux. I'm buying the Lux. This is a real deal. What we're seeing, he might not continue hitting at a 400 clip, but he found something. We're talking about more than a month now that he's been on this heater. It's the real deal. Lux, you can buy in on Lux, and he's going to be there starting at second base. Maybe he doesn't start against lefties, but he's going to be there. He's going to be around. And if Ahmed Rosario is the platoon partner for him versus lefties at second base, I think they can do better than that. I would almost wonder about seeing Lux in there against lefties, keep that lineup continuity. But if it's Mookie at second base versus lefties, and then in center field against righties, Teoscar Hernandez, listen to my boy Jeff Snyder on Locked On Dodgers. He will tell you all about Teoscar Hernandez not being anywhere but right field. He is a right fielder, the defensive profile. Love Teo. He's a great frickin' ball player, but it's a different ball flight in left field as well. So, I mean, you saw that play on Sunday earlier in the game in Oakland. It's just not his the ball it'll dive on you. I'm not gonna get out here trying to explain physics about the situation. I'm trying to stick to the point here. Teoscar Hernandez, the point is he's better in right field. And his best position for himself is in right field. Mookie Betts is better in right field. The numbers, the hardware, all of that tells you he is the better guy. So still, he's the most versatile guy. He can play some center. He can play some second base. Probably not going to play much third or anything like that because that would be dumb. But just keep an open mind, and I appreciate Mookie saying the right things there. Getting real close to needing to check out of here. Jenny Vega again saying, join the Discord, join the Patreon. I appreciate Jenny. Noah Ortega, what is it? This is just, what's it called? It made it seem like you bought. Did you buy another membership, Noah? This guy. Noah Ortega with the membership. We appreciate Noah. Says Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Sasaki will be the 3 samurai of LA next year. Hey, I love the Los Angeles Samurai. They're pretty good at baseball. Ivy Strokin asking, did I miss the voicemails? Yes, you did. You're late, but it's okay. It's okay, Ivy Strokin. You can go back and you listen to it. Tell your friends. Tell your grandma. I appreciate you hanging out with us as always. So that's where we're at on Mookie. I got one. I got another one. I'm gonna pocket it. It's Bueller talk. We're gonna pocket it for Thursday's show. But quickly, let's run through the bullpen situation. Brazier, he's another guy. Ryan Brazier will be back. If it's not tomorrow, it's probably Wednesday or the next series after that. But 4 scoreless innings on rehab at OKC. I'm not excited about Ryan Brazier. Straight up, I wasn't excited early in the season, wasn't necessarily excited when they re-signed him, but he's here, and he's a veteran, and he's going to get an opportunity. So whose spot does he get? Is that going to be Brent Honeywell? Because I like Brent Honeywell. Is he going to be somebody, I'll drop Jeff Snyder again, talking about it in our Discord chat. Honeywell's not going to be a guy who makes a difference, who has a role for this team in October. But he's here now. He's playing a decent role, picking up outs late in games, middle of games, picking up some innings, and that's important for this team. But if it's not Honeywell, it might be somebody like a Brazier getting that spot, or Michael Grove, who, when I spoke with Connor McGuiness earlier, he's very, very high on Michael Grove, talking about how he was touching 99 with the fastball at OKC. Maybe Grover's an option. The Dodgers say they want to stretch him out to, 2 innings, get a little bit more length out of him. I think most of us that know Michael Grove know that that's not the role. That's not the smart role. He is not a multi-inning reliever, but that's a decision they're trying to do with him. So if that's a good call, hey, well, I guess we'll find out. But if you lose somebody like Honeywell, who has an ERA just over 1 or just under 1 in his 9 appearances with the Dodgers, he's looked good. He's looked pretty damn nasty. Rebecca likes the turtleneck. He's got style. He's got flair. There's a reason why he was once a very, very highly touted prospect in this game. And injuries derailed his career. But what did the Dodgers do? They fix those kind of problems. They help out those kind of problems. So if I'm taking Honeywell over Brazier, I'm always going to, or if it's Honeywell over Brazier, I'm taking Brent Honeywell. If it's Honeywell versus Grove, I might take Honeywell at this point in time. Plus, you can kind of still stash Grove. He's got options. Miguel Rojas, we kind of talked about Miguel Rojas a little bit as we continue on, and we kind of want to just touch on all the little injury updates. But Rojas says he's ready to go. He's kind of waiting on the Dodgers to activate him, it seems like. Dave Roberts said before the game today, this week, the plan is to get your boy back this week. I don't know who Cheddar Jack Flaherty is, but they're a member. I appreciate you, Cheddar Jack Flaherty. Sup to you, Cheddar Jack Flaherty. It's great. It's good cheese, by the way. But yeah, you're Miguel Rojas. He's gonna be is real close to coming back. And who is that going to be? Is that going to be Nick Ahmed losing his roster spot? Probably. Is it going to be James Outman getting the option? Maybe not. Maybe it's that when it gets to that point, maybe that's going to be Outman's going to be Tommy Edman or something like that. Max Muncy, he's swinging as we just kind of trudge forward. I wanted to get the show over before the start of the game because these shows have been going very long. I appreciate you guys, staying and hanging around. I don't want to be doing a whole bunch of 1.5 to 2-hour shows because I think those just aren't as fun for people that aren't here with us to watch later. So we will trudge forward. Edman, CT3, Max Muncy, all taking swings in that simulated game at Dodger Stadium on Thursday. Muncy, again, all of a sudden, turning a corner with this, with the situation, with that oblique, the magic of a chiropractor visit. I need to go see that chiropractor. I'm down. But if this team can get Muncy back, woo, that would go a long, long freaking way for this team. And trust me, I totally always had hope. I always knew he was coming back. Believe me, I would never lie. But that's where we're at. There's your injury updates. Obviously a little truncated, a little rushed there towards the end because I'm trying to make sure we get in before the start of the next game. So let's talk quickly about this Phillies series. Nothing terribly important. The series, as we said earlier on Dodgers territory, doesn't have the same juice that it would have had a month ago. But where we're at in the series, the start of a homestand. Get these Dodgers some home cooking. You get Freddie back. That's awesome. You get some bullpen help back. That's awesome. We are MaxStrong. That's awesome. The Phillies straight up on the schneid, so you got to capitalize on the series right now. You do have some good arms lined up for the Dodgers. Glass now tonight versus Aaron Nola. Glass needs to continue not bounce back, but continue what happened in his last start against the what do they call the Padres. He was very good. He was very decent to solid to not exceptionally great, but still throwing them all out there, all the descriptors. 7 innings. That's an impressive, important thing for Tyler Glasnow. 3 runs, and he didn't get a lot of help, as a lot of people, and then in that era of a week ago, that people did not get defensive help. The Dodgers pitchers. Kershaw, another guy, suffered because of defensive struggles, and not all of them, but it does not help when you record outs but they're not converted. So Glasnow versus Aaron Nola. Clayton Kershaw versus Christopher Sanchez, who the last time we faced the Phillies, I said, I don't know who this guy is, and then he went on to become an all-star, kind of a throw-in all-star, but he's back. He's there. He's at Dodger Stadium. And then Gavin Stone, arguably the most important start of his season this year, to see what he's made out of. He goes up against a fella called Tyler Phillips, another guy. I don't know. I really don't know. But that's what your series is going to look like. You're playing. You're not. It's not even a hot take. You're playing for the best record in the National League right now. Dodgers are a 1.5 games behind the Phillies for the best record in the NL. Let's run with it. Let's do it. If we can sweep them, cool. try to get that best record, because why not? I don't really care about the best record. I'm happy in this 2-hole. That's what he said. But if you can beat him, you beat him. You want to beat him, and then keep welcoming more of these guys back, happy, healthy. It's gonna be a good one, guys. It's gonna be a good series. He got Freddie back. Let's go, Freddie Bamba. I think Dodgers take 2 or 3 against the Phillies. I haven't done predictions in a while, but I feel good about those. Sammy Boy Smith says, "Sweep those fucks." It should have been PHUX for that, because Phillies and the whole thing. But anyways, that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I gotta push the button there so you know what I'm talking about. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the great comments, the questions, the interaction here on the show. I appreciate you guys. Again, this is supposed to be a show for us, for you, for all of us to talk and hang out. Thank you so much for the super chats, people that send in the super chats. If you are looking for that different way to support the show, I'll say it one last time, patreon.com/realfrg, or YouTube members, click the join button around my head somewhere, $5 a month. You could also join us there. Join us in Discord, keeping the talks going, the conversation, always talking Dodgers on Discord. All you got to do is just be a channel member or a Patreon supporter. Moderators, as always, doing a great job, even without Diane here. The moderators doing a kick-ass job. That's about it, guys. All Dodgers is presented by BetOnline. Use that promo code BELIEVE. Get that 50% free bonus welcome thing. I'm RealFRG on all the social things. Every link you might need is in the description below. Hope we earn that thumbs up and subscribe on the way out. Those are free. And I'll see you on the next one of these things. Okay, bye.